Hello everyone, welcome back to the lecture. So, in this lecture, we will see the methodology for the soling. So, first we'll try to understand the methodology for the soling and we'll understand the concept. See, in my basic course on construction methodology, I've explained you why soling should be done. I'll explain it once again. So, soling is not any general construction practice. The general construction practice is do the excavation, put the PCC, then go with the footing. But sometimes what happens, if you don't get a hard strata, and if you want to increase the SBC of a soil immediately, the good option is that provide a good base. And you can provide a good base by doing a soling. So what exactly I'm trying to explain you here is, so this is one of a soil report. So in this soil report, they have given that the structure shall be founded on isolated combined footing. Place a boulder of thick 300 mm at the bottom of the footing. So this is a small house construction, and they are telling that you can do a uh, excavation up to 3 meter from the existing ground level, and then you have to place the boulder. Sometimes what happens, your soil may not be good, and you may not get a hard strata, and you don't want to go like 4 meter, 5 meter excavation and all. To get a hard strata, you have to go to 4 meter or 5 meter of excavation, but that much is not needed for a G+1 G+2 building. In that case, what you do a excavation up to 3 meter, that is sufficient, and then beneath that you put a boulders to increase the SBC of your soil and to get a hard strata. That is the main idea behind that. So that is the reason you don't find soling in all the drawings. So for example, this is one drawing where they were constructing only a G+1 story building. So for a G+1 story building, you can adopt a excavation up to, let's say, 1.5 meter to 2 meter, not more than that. But here what happened, since the soil was very weak, what they have done is they have told do 300 mm thick rubber soling. Over that you put another 150 mm of sand layer, then you put the PCC, and then then you come up with a footing. Whereas this is one more building where the soil was good. Even this was a G+1 story building. They're telling you to do a 6 feet of excavation, then do a PCC, then directly put the footing. So there is no soling shown here because the reason is that the soil was good. So that was sufficient. So you just put a PCC and put a footing. Here the soil was not good. So that is the reason they have done the soling. You understood the concept, no? So that is the general construction practice is to put a PCC, but if you don't get a hard strata, you can go with a soling. So now how the soling should be done, we'll see the methodology for that. Providing and laying in position 200 mm thick compacted thickness soling, base preparation by mechanical compaction and ramming using Deccan trap basalt, hand broken or rubber for void filling, muram for binding as directed by engineer in charge, including watering, packing and compaction. So it is all about you can put the stones from 150 to 230 mm. It will be the size of these boulders, and what kind of stone you should use, that is written as Deccan trap basalt. That is a stone what you get called as Deccan trap basalt. You have to use that stone for the soling activity. So soling work shall be done using a stone laid under floor or foundation, hand-picked, hand-packed or as per the specification requirement at the site. Soling will provide a kind of a cushion, a hard strata will be formed as well as a strong subbase. The stone so used must be hard, durable, free from defects and of required size as required at site or as per the specification. The bed on which the soling is to be laid should be cleared of all the loose materials, level, watered and compacted before laying soling. That means whatever excavation you have done, you have to properly clean that. Proper compaction of this base has to be done. Once the proper compaction is done, only then you should go with the soling activity. Next point is that over the prepared surface, the stone should be set as closely as possible, well packed and firmly set. The stone should be of full height and should be laid to have their bases of the largest area resting on the subgrade. Soling should be laid in one layer of a specified thickness as per the specification. So basically what is trying to tell that when you are placing the stones, no, it should be closely spaced like this. Okay, you cannot have too much of gaps. But whatever gap you can see here, that we will fill with a smaller aggregate later, like 40 mm aggregate. And then if you find any other voids, then that can be filled with the muram or M sand. Okay. Ultimately, you have to make it more denser. Another point is that if this is a stone, suppose if this is a stone, let us say, okay, this base is larger, right? This is a small base. So that larger base should be at the bottom. This larger base, this larger base should be at the bottom. Okay. And when you're when you're keeping the stone, make sure they are kept like this, and this they should create an angle of 70 to 80 degree. That is there in the next slide. They should form an angle of 70 to 80 degree with the horizontal. So that is there in the next line. I'll explain you that. The size of soling stone. This can vary from 150 to 230 mm. The stones should be placed adjacent to each other, as close as possible to each other, in such a way that they are standing at an angle of 70 degree to 80 degree to the horizontal. So it has to be placed, okay, like this. Vertically they have to stand. Okay, that only then they can have a good interlocking and all, and they should form an angle of 70 to 80 degree. Got it? Yeah. The gap between the boulders should be filled and packed with the smaller stones like 40 mm aggregate that can be used to fill the gap. After packing the stones properly in position, the gap interstices between them should be carefully filled with M sand to obtain a hard surface. Now, whatever gap we have, that you can fill with M sand, or you get something called as quarry dust. Even you can use the quarry dust and you fill the gap. Excess filling should not be done. The surface should be then watered and consolidated with a sufficiently heavy wooden tampers. That means once you do this thing, what is that, sand filling, or let's say M sand, properly you have to do the watering of this, and proper compaction should be done with the help of this wooden rammer. Okay, and then this, why you should water it and all, because this prevents the mixing up of filler material, that is a M sand or quarry dust, along with the concrete. And you have to use a roller. uh, a roller should be used to compact the soling. That's it. So this is a methodology. When you're working on the site, this is how you're supposed to follow the method. You cannot randomly place boulders and then do the PCC. So you have to properly make sure whatever is there in the methodology, based on that you are placing the stones, the gap is filled and all. Okay, that's it. Now this is the photo what I have taken from internet. It's a collection of Deccan trap rock. Okay, these are the boulders what we are using. So it's called as a Deccan trap rocks what we get. Got it? Yeah. So whatever size we want, from 150 to 230 mm, that sizes we'll use for the soling work. Now coming to the checklist part. So first we know is a pre-check, is a method statement available and work in progress accordingly. We have seen the method statement. According to that, we'll be doing the work. Is the surface free from slush and subgrade well compacted into a required slope and level? Slush in the sense, sometimes what happen if we encounter water while doing excavation, so that area will be completely wet. So we call that as a slush. So you should make sure it is not slush. And then the subgrade, whatever we have, whatever excavation we have done, that should be properly compacted. And whatever level or slope you want to give, you have to maintain that. Proctor compaction test report available for field earth. So once you do the excavation, we'll do a proper compaction. Then we have to do the maximum dry density test, that is called as Proctor compaction, which you have to achieve 90 to 95%. So that report should be available. And is the soling material approved as per the specification? This is called as Deccan trap basalt. You should make sure you are bringing in the proper boulders. It has a good hardness. It has a good capacity to take the strength. You have to do the testing of it. Only once it is approved, we'll use it. So all this are my pre-check. Now, once you start the soling, what all checks you are supposed to do? Is the bull marking placed as per the architecture finish level? So bull marking means, see here they have done the marking. The marking is that this is the length of the soling, this is the breadth of the soling, and to what height you should do, that is usually we mark it here, or here they already done this. So this is called as bull marking. Bull marking, usually they do a small marking here, but here they have drawn the line with the help of line. They have done it, but that is also okay. End of the day, you should maintain a level. That's it. That's the meaning of bull marking. They have done. And this thickness can be like 150 mm, 200 mm, based on the requirement. They'll mention it in the drawing. Are the soling stones packed and aligned to the required level and line? We have already done that. Proper 70 to 80 degree, we are going to keep it. And if there is any gap, we are going to fill it. Are voids filled with small stones and chips? We have already seen that. Has compaction been done after spreading of binding materials? That is also, we are going to do all these things. Water we are going to sprinkle. And after that, we'll do the PCC work. Has the spreading of binding material and compaction been done once again? Is the level of soling achieved? We have seen the level also. It will be there in the drawing. Like here, this is the soling. So 300 mm is what they have mentioned. Based on that, we'll do it. Yeah. Now coming to the MEP check. If there won't be anything much about MEP here, if anything is there, they will take care of it. mean, you should know, but usually in soling and all, no MEP work will happen. Okay. Next is coming to the safety check. So one is we have to check whether any work permit, we have to take a work permit for that. And safety people should look after the PPs and all. Labor should be wearing the shoes, the jackets and all. And since we are working inside the excavation pit, you have to make sure there is a proper safe access, there's a proper ladder, and proper barricading has been done and all. If any waste is there, you should properly do a housekeeping and all. So this is a methodology and this is a checklist. So if you work according to that, you'll have a better quality on the site, and that way you can have a better progress in a construction project. So this was all about the stone soling. I hope you got an idea why stone soling should be done and what is the methodology for that and how the checklist has to be understood. So I'll see you back in the next lecture. Thank you.